So from here, let's back it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and, like I said, zoom out on your timeline. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of our video right there. After this, so we have the beginning of our video, we have the transitions, we have the first cut, second cut, and third cut. All right, so far we're off to a good start. Now we need to add subtitles, okay? So here's how we're going to do that. Same way that we added the text layer for the beginning and the end as well, we're going to do for our subtitles, because subtitles is technically text. So, dragging our playhead back a little bit, first line that T'Challa delivers is Wakanda forever. So, go back right here. Wakanda forever! All right, that's the first line that we have to input. Okay, guys, here's how we're going to find this. So, using the left and right arrow keys, we are going to hold down the left arrow key from here. And then we're going to tap it a little bit, go back frame by frame. All right, he's about to say it right here. Whoa, right there, Wakanda forever. Whoa, nice. All right, so right here is a really good time in which we would put that subtitle, all right? Because he is just about to say Wakanda. It's perfect. It sounds great. Now, we're already selected on the type tool. You guys can do it like this if you wish, or you can go back to graphics and titles, and you can click new layer and then text. Either way, it's going to create it for you. So I think the fastest way to do it is to click on the type tool. If you click on this type tool down here, the T, then you can hover your mouse over here, put it in this black area that we got going on, which is not really where we see anything in our video. And then we can click on the bottom there, and it's going to automatically create a brand new pink box for us on the second video layer, which is our text, all right? From there, it says, hey, this is where you want to start typing, so go ahead and start typing your words. So let's put Wakanda forever, which is what he says with an exclamation point. And from there, we are going to change our text a little bit so that it just fits in this little black box that we've got going on. It's nice and centered so that we can present it nice and evenly. So to do that, we're going to go back over here to the right-hand side, go to Essential Graphics where we were, click that again. Then we are going to center horizontally, so it's going to center where we have left and right space that's even. From there, we're going to move our text down just a little bit. Now, instead of tediously going back to our selection tool and selecting that and picking that perfect spot where we're like, oh, that's just right. Oh, that's right there. You guys might wiggle it and change it up a little bit. Then you have to go back here and align horizontally again. Or if you don't want to do that, you can literally click these buttons right here. These blue number values that you see, this is left and right, and this is up and down. All right, so if we drag it like that, you guys can change your text like this. It goes up and down. So click and hold with your mouse, and that goes up and down, and this goes left and right. So let's find a really good spot for it, because I like judging off of this number. I think it looks perfect right about, let's do, yeah, right about there. Now, that looks good. I like where it is. Let's go ahead and place this in the center with our align horizontally button. Align center horizontally. There we go. Now it looks fantastic. So, let's get too far ahead on the timeline here. What I did was that I clicked on the timeline for our program, which is much further ahead in our program monitor than it is for our video. So let me go back here. I'll go back to the very beginning. There we go. See how whenever you guys move the playhead on this, it correlates and it shares the same exact playhead that you see up top here. It reflects what you guys are editing. Now, How long does he say Wakanda forever, and how long do we want to keep that subtitle up? It's up to us. So I think the appropriate time that we should see Wakanda forever is a short amount of time, so let's watch it again. Wakanda forever! I think right about here is when, just as they're about to charge, that's when I want to take that text out, okay? In order to take that text out, guys, we are going to go to the end of our pink box right there, which is our text. We're going to hover over it until we see a little red symbol right there. So click and drag it and then bring it back there to where our blue playhead is. And then it's going to cut that text out as soon as we want it to, right when we want it to. All right? So from here, we'll drag that back a little bit. Wakanda forever! And it leaves the screen as soon as we want it to. Leaves that screen as soon as we want it to. All right, so that's how we add that text there. To make things really, really simple for you guys, the same way that we copied and pasted this text to go into the end as well. All that work that we did, making sure that it sits in the right place, that it's the right text and the right text in the right size, the right position. You guys can literally copy and paste this to all the places where they deliver dialogue in this scene. Okay? Why? Because it's going to save that position. And it's also going to save those words, but you can just go in and double click and change those words. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Okay? So, let's look at the next line after this. If I were to copy and paste this, let's go ahead and copy. So hold down Control on your keyboard with Control C. So that means we copied it. Now let's press Control V. After that, we're going to copy that again. But see how it overwrites what we already did? It kind of changed the whole thing. So what it did was that it copied and then it pasted onto what's in front of your blue playhead. That's what I mentioned before in the past. So in order to undo something, if you guys made a mistake, you guys are going to click Control Z, okay? Control Z undoes the last thing that you did, all right? So from here, let's go ahead and highlight that. Let's get it right there. And then as soon as it's done, there we go, we'll move it to the right a little bit. Let's press Control, let's highlight this, Control C, and then we'll press Control V. There we go. And now we have a perfect copy of Wakanda Forever that stays there for a little bit longer until we click and drag this away. Now it disappears, so we don't see it anymore. Now, the next line that T'Challa delivers, it's not Wakanda Forever right there. It's right here. So what he says in his mask, he says now. Another thing that we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and start cutting again, just so we can save our progress here. Let's go a frame forward a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right there. All right, from that shot to that shot, using the left and right arrow keys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and apply a cut here. You can click the razor tool again. Another shortcut you can do, whenever you hover over something, guys, if you look next to what it says, that name, where it says razor tool right there, it says C. If you press C on your keyboard, you're going to turn your tool or your mouse into the razor tool. If you press V on your keyboard, you'll go back to its regular pointer where you can click and drag stuff and do all the normal things, okay? So watch, I'm currently on C. If I press V, this little blade that you guys see with my mouse is going to change back to the pointer. There we go, just like that. If I press C again, now it's going to change to that razor because C is for cutting, if you will. All right, so we're right here, exactly where we need to be for the next shot. Let's go ahead and apply that cut. There we go. Move forward a little bit more. There it is. There we go. That's the next shot right there. Nice. There we go. From here, Let's go to V again. So pressing V, we're able to go back. And this is the part right here where he starts, we cut, and now he's going to say now. Right there. As soon as he brings his arm up. Let's go back a little bit more. Now, right about there. That's when he says it. Okay. So, if we drag this, the text box that we made right there, let's drag it to where our playhead is. So we have that point saved where he says now. Now all we have to do is just change that text. So it's perfectly where we need it to be in that black part of our video. Let's double click this. If we can't double click it and if it's not working the way that we want it to, it means that we're on the reference part of the clip. We need to go to program again, where we see that, and let's double click this. There we go, perfect. Now let's type out now. There we go. Now is how he says it, okay? From here, after that, you guys are going to recenter this because obviously it's a little over to the left. It's kind of messy. So let's recenter it with this horizontally. Boom, just like that. So if we rewind this a little bit. So after he's done saying now, I'm probably just going to cut now right about there. So because nobody needs to see now for, 5 seconds. So let's go here. Now, right there. So that's where we go. So from here, let me go ahead and hover my mouse over there, shorten this clip. There we go. Perfect. There we go. So there, that's when I want to stop it. Cut to that shot, and then we cut to this shot right here. So let's follow with our timeline again. Left, right, right there. That's where we're going to put that next cut. So press C on your keyboard. Turns our mouse into the razor tool. Go ahead and cut that right there. Press V on our keyboard to go back to normal. There we go. We have that next cut. All right. So if you guys keep highlighting and pressing Control C to copy this, and then pressing Control V to paste it, you guys are going to recreate more versions of what your text should look like whenever subtitles should pop up. It's just up to you to type in what they actually say and do. All right? There we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and cut to the next shot, which is right there. So move it. There we go. Right there. That's where it is. Press C on the keyboard. Use that razor tool. Press V on the keyboard. Oh, didn't save our cut right there. Need to go back. There it is. So let's press C again. Make sure that we're on there. Click it. There we go. Perfect. Oh, we split it. There it is. Okay, so let's zoom out. Pressing that minus key on our keyboard. That's the first part of the video done. That's the last part. All right. And then I explain later in the instructions in Schoology. At the end, you guys are going to count up how many cuts you all have in your video clip, okay? So how many times do we cut? How long is this clip? Or how long is this movie? And then when you take the length of the movie clip divided by how many cuts you have or how many shots you go to, then you should get this number, average shot length, seconds per shot. And then from there, let's add another transition. Effects, video transitions, dip to black. There we go. Here we go. That dips to black and we're good. From there, I'll show you guys how to quickly count everything. So if we counted our cuts, there we go. Let's bring it back a little bit. There we go. Now, to hop from one section to the next, guys. To hop from one section to the next, this is how we're going to bounce from one video clip to the next so that it's easier for you guys to count the cuts, all right? Now, we are starting off at the very first part of our video clip that we don't really see because we're dipping to black from this video. Got a nice little transition going. There we go. All right, so first things first, when you start here, in order to have the number of seconds down, you guys need to do this math really quickly, okay? Your time code is the blue numbers right here in the corner of your timeline panel, all right? It goes hours first, minutes next, seconds third, and then the last one is the frames, how many frames it goes. So if we're shooting in 24 FPS, which is what this video is because this movie was shot in 24 FPS, when this number gets to 23, the next number that it's going to show is 4. So watch, ready? I'm going to go frame by frame using the right arrow key. 1, 2, 3, 4. 23, 24. 3 seconds and 23 frames, and then after the 24th frame, boom, we start that new second number 4. So don't worry about the frames. I want you guys to focus on the seconds and the minutes, okay? So seconds and minutes right there. So hours, minutes, seconds. Just focus on seconds and minutes. So at the start of the first clip right here, looks like we are starting at, let's zoom all the way in. There we go. We're starting right at 4 seconds. All right, so we're at 4 seconds. Now, if we zoom out, pressing that minus key again, go all the way to the end. There we go. And then we'll zoom in right there where we see Thanos at last. And then we start moving the playhead. There we go at the very end. Now let's zoom in. Make sure we're on the exact frame. There we go. We zoomed all the way in. There we go. 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Wow. So from 4 seconds to 5 minutes and 14 seconds. All right. You guys do the math for how long that is. And then once you have that many seconds down, the total number of seconds, converting from 4 seconds to 5 minutes and 14 seconds, I wonder how many seconds that is, you'll put that up here as the number for how many seconds you have. And then as you guys go through and you cut every shot, so I'll take this and let me zoom out a little bit. Let's go back a little bit further. He's doing this. Let's do right there. This is the next cut right there. Boom, that cut. He jumps up. Camera follows him. There we go. There's that shot right there. That's the next cut. Place it right there. There's that cut right there. So we go from the closer up shot to the wider shot. There we go. There's that shot. And then we cut from there to Thanos right there. Nice. All right. That's the last cut of the video. So as you guys are counting up all those cuts, as you count up all of those cuts, that is what the number you will put right here at the end where those shots are. So instead of actually looking at them going one by one by one, what you guys can do is that you can start at the beginning of your video, watching very, very, very carefully. You guys will see and make those cuts yourselves with the razor tool. And then in order to accurately count it, make sure that you go over here. Let's see. Let's take my mouse. Let's drag it down a little bit. There we go. Make sure that only V1 right here on the left-hand side is highlighted, okay? Toggle the track targeting for this track. Don't select V2. Do not highlight V2 in blue, okay? Make sure that is off. Make sure that we're only focusing on V1 right here. I'm going to press V to go back to my pointer. There we go. Black. So let's start at the very beginning of this clip right here. I'm going to zoom all the way in just to be sure. That's the beginning of our first clip. Yep, 4 seconds, 22 frames. So let's back up a little bit. Now, in order to count how many clips or how many cuts that we have right here accurately, once I make all those cuts, if I press up and down on my arrow keys, going from down right there, if I go down, I go to the end and the beginning of the next clip. So, zoomed in a little bit. If I press up, I go back to the start of this first cut. If I press down, I go to the start of the second cut. If I press down again, I go to the third. If I press down one more time, I go to the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth, and the seventh. So, right there, I can count that I have, from this shot here, there we go, starting off with that, I can count that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 cuts so far that I've measured. If I press down one more time, it's going to take me all the way to the end. So I have to actually make those cuts to get an accurate number, okay? Once you get the number of all the cuts that you guys have, then you'll be able to type this in with your cuts later, and then dividing the seconds by the number of shots equals your seconds per shot. That is the average shot length within this clip that we have. All right. After this, you guys are going to export it. Once you have all of that done, you guys are going to export it. When you export it, click on the blue click on the export section up here. From export, you guys will make sure that that file name is right. So yes, the sequence comes out correctly. Yep, I have your first name and your last initial. There we go. The location is correct as well. So make sure that the location is your videos folder right there. I found my videos folder. You might have to go down to this PC and select videos folder. But if you click from videos right here, then you should be able to send it right there. So save it there. And then H.264 should be that video. It's an MP4 as well. If we scroll through right here, clicking and holding with our mouse, we'll see the little changes that we made in our whole video. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. Awesome. From there, now we need to go to export, this blue button down here. Clicking that. It's going to export our video. All right, now that it's fully exported right here, see that little blue box there? That's good. Let's check our videos folder and File Explorer down here. Go there, find where we have videos. All right, and then I have A2 John D right there, and then A2 Thor Arrives John D. Double click it. We can watch it. There we go. Have that text that we put in. There we go. Let's see if we have the text. Subtitles. Wakanda forever! Nice. All right, we did it. So after this, we are now going to submit it to Schoology. So clicking on the X right here. Let's go back to Schoology where we were. All right. At the end of all of this, we're going to make sure that we go to the very, very, very top here, okay? From here, guys, you're going to submit this assignment, okay? You're going to find a submit button, whether it's here at the top or all the way down at the bottom. And what you guys are going to submit are your 2 files, which are your edit and your final exported video, okay? That means that you have to go back into File Explorer and you have to select this one right here. So A2, Thor Arrives, your first name and last initial. And then you also have to select your Premiere Pro edit, which is A2, your first initial, your first name and your last initial right there. Okay? So once you submit both of those, you are done. Congratulations, you did it.